Hey guys, Savat here, aka Doompiggy, and I have some exciting news. Today is the day I'm finally going to be able to finish my training. So, if you like the videos, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content. Let's have a look here, see what's going on. So I'm sitting in my Oracle, and right now I'm at 829 DPS. We are about to finish Advanced Battlecruiser Engineering. It says I have 5 hours left, but we're going to go ahead and expedite this. And what are we going to go into next? Well, back to lasers. Let's have a look. So our large lasers are sitting in a pretty decent spot. The one that's going to give me more range is this one. So which one are we going to actually train up first? I think we're going to do this. That'll give us more range. So perfect. Let's see where we're at now. This should help with the capacitor needs of the ship quite a bit. And also give us more damage. We're sitting at 864. That was a 5% damage increase. So 5% is giving us right around 30 DPS. Not too terribly shabby. Excellent. So yeah, long skills means long waits. But we are going to get there. So that also means that we probably have more power grid that we could fit on this thing as well. So this one actually had the large afterburner. Now we're sitting at 1,400. Let's experiment around. How much would a micro warp drive cost? A small afterburner, large. 1,215 megawatts. That's a lot. We are nowhere near. How much did it say? Okay. Unfit? Unfit? Go active? No. Oh, we still need 200. So I don't think we're going to get there quite yet unless I put in some more rigs. So I wouldn't be able to do that. What's something else that we could try to fit on here? Maybe a large armor repper? I have a few of those, I think. Yeah, I have a couple. A large armor repper does fit. And we've got room. What else can we put on here? We could put on the afterburner. And where's our targeting computer? So that fits. Now I don't have my C-type micro warp drive on here, but I can try to put on the a medium regular dealer medium. Are you in the micro warp drive? Yeah. So let's look at the dealer mediums. It doesn't quite fit. However, what we could actually do that may help this out a little bit. Let's go and have a look at our skills. Let's come here. And let's stop this. Okay, and for all of you guys who are like, you just remove your skills. Oh, don't do that, you're not training. You actually end up training in your free skill points when you don't have that there, so it's just fine. So just a little FYI in case anybody didn't know that. What I want to do here is, under my electronics, we trained up Advanced Battlecruiser Engineering. For 43 million, we can purchase the Advanced, or the Expert. And we can actually get 3 skills of that under our belt. And we can expedite level 1. What did level 1 do for us? Battlecruiser capacitor capacity. Okay. What does level 2 do for us? Power grid 2%. Can we expedite that? Yes, we can. And level 3 is going to take us a little over a day. We can add that to the queue before we go into lasers. And now it fits. But how much do we have left? We're 50 out of 64. We could probably fit the C-type on here. Let's go take a look at my other ship. Where would I have my micro warp drive? I probably have it on the Drake currently. Yes. Let's unfit that. Where, oh where is my oracle at? Where, oh where can you be? Alright, let's give this a little bit of an upgrade if we can. Oh. So it cannot quite fit on there. So this one will have to work with the meta level 5 until I can get about 20 more. That takes 67, 167. This takes 135. Oh, so 37 more. And I am 14. So I need 23 more points. So 2 points would be for every 100. So yeah, if I get like another percent or two, as soon as that skill finishes up, I should probably be able to fit the C-type in there. Just barely. Or if I upgraded this to a 3, it would definitely be able to fit in there. But I'm not doing that. So this capacitor is at 1 minute and 43 seconds. 864 DPS. And basically all filled up. Optimal range is still basically 60 out to 80. Very nice. So that is going to help out tremendously. I want to see if the actual micro warp drive is going to be stable in here. And what I mean is not stable, but effective. So whenever I need it, I can use it. And it's not going to take too much draw away from the actual lasers. So that's going to take some testing before I actually take this into a real mission. Ooh. So on the emulator that I use, you have to hold control if you want to zoom in and out. Do I have anything over here? I do not. Let's see how this... Alright, so... This is the Meta Level 5 one. And with the Meta Level 5, this will hit into the 900s on one pass. And it does get up to over 1,000. Let's go ahead and pick up an encounter and see what we can do. Let's just do a quick test in this ship. And let's set up our approach
Warp drive active.
to 59. And let's set our orbit to 59. Now, orbiting with these lasers is something that you're not supposed to really do, so I'm going to try to stop that. I'm going to try to nip that in the bud if I can, and start using an approach feature, and stopping and moving away. Alright, so we're going to cancel that. And we are going to warp in at 60 is fine. So the micro warp drive, the whole purpose of it on there is to be able to reach that distance. Now with the large shield booster, or shield repairer, this thing should be able to repair damage quite a bit more, but I don't know if we're actually going to see much damage. The last build tried the large afterburner. I don't know, I'm just kind of experimenting around. Now that I've got more power grid to play with, if you guys do have any type of suggestions to try out for maybe some large gear, then please let me know. I want to see what I can stuff into this thing and what I can get it to do. Alright. So I guess the next thing, one of the things I don't really do, is turn both those on at the same time. Let's see how much damage. 1,372 hot. If I use both of them. Yes, please apply some damage to me. I want to test out the shield booster. So we're getting some pretty good hits in here. 5,300. So I do like this. The damage output on this ship is phenomenal. Now, another video I want to do at some point is I want to actually compare all of the weapons. In order to do so, I do need to save up a bit of money. I actually want to purchase a Naga and a... Oh, what's the Caldari one? A Typhoon? So I want to get both of those. The Typhoon I want to get on my alt account, so that may take a little bit of time. So I'll probably be purchasing it on this account first and then gifting it over. But I want to get both of those and just put on there without having any skills, but with the battleship skills that I do have. And kind of see where they're at and do some predictions on where they can be and do some tests. Oh, I hit that way too late. And so with one active, we're looking at 1,115 DPS. So I think the 1,115 DPS spread out multiple times is probably going to be better than using them both at once, unless you have a battleship that you need to kill. And then maybe applying the higher damage for a shorter period of time would help eliminate those a lot quicker. I don't know. The jury's still out on that one. So I want to lock up these guys because they're the scary ones. And we are going to try to zip away from him. He is coming in on us strong. Alright, that's fine. So that is the whole purpose that I want that micro warp drive for. And that micro warp drive is just to help us keep our distance on the smaller ships when they appear. Now, I am looking at my cap as I've been doing this, and I'm sitting at 63%, and there hasn't been a lot of heavy use of anything. Because I'm at 63%, and I know some of the quicker ships are going to be coming up here soon, I'm not going to be activating my heat sinks here for a little while. Alright, so using the approach method, we're actually moving away from them. And moving away is still keeping us in a straight line, so I think that's good. And let's already work on our approach on him, which is going to take us out of our straight line, but he's already dead, so we don't have too much to worry about there. Next on our agenda is this MOA. Now a lot of things are, we're 80, 82, 81 away and approaching. Alright, so now we're going to approach this guy. For him, we will go ahead and use the damage. See if we can get that put up a little bit. Sorry, my throat's a little scratchy this morning. I think I either stayed up too late, or maybe coming down with something. Don't know. Thank you, Naga, for actually getting us into our armor. Maybe. So perfect. We are actually on an away path, which is good. We are going to lock up all these little guys. Alright, so that one is coming in at us at a pretty fast pace. We are going to activate our tracking computer. Perfect. We're going to approach this one, and we can hit up to 80. So 80 is where we're doing our half damage. So even these guys sitting here at 70, they're still completely okay to hit. We're just not going to do full damage. Okay. Next, we're going to hit this Blackbird. And we're going to pulse this armor upper one time. And just see what it does. That's nice. We'll pulse it again. Okay, so in this case here, I am going to attack the Naga first, because I believe that Naga is what's actually hitting us out at this range. We'll pulse that again. So we are down to 40, 39. So I do see that as being a slight issue. So this large shield repper is really going to be for taking out some ancillary damage and not really a main focus, because with the micro warp drive on there, our regen looks like it's holding stable around in the low 40s. So if I can keep it here, this is where our maximum regen is going to be. So I don't really want to go below 40, and I want to make sure that I'm staying in this area here and only pulsing the armor repper when I need to, because it is going to be such a large power draw. Now I'm pulsing it a little more than normal. Oh, okay, so apparently it might not have been the Naga, it might have been the actual sniper over here. Okay. So now I'm down to 34% power. I want to kind of see what the regen does here. Let's turn off those. we got the small ships all locked up. Alright, we're trying to take these guys out in order. That isn't going to work for us. Hmm. This is becoming a problem. Okay. Let's get away. We don't want to be too close. Okay. Oh my gosh, I can't hit anything. So this is going to be my biggest fear, is running into these smaller ships and then not able to do anything to them. Which these guns can't. Can't do anything. We can focus fire down those guys, but we're actually going to have to warp out here. Yeah, we let them get too close. We weren't able to get out,
Warp drive active.
which is fine. That definitely goes to show that we can't hit. And even with the micro warp drive, we're not able to actually keep our distance. So that's going to have to go back to the drawing board, because that's not going to suffice in a storyline mission. Was not able to actually get far enough away at that range quick enough. They weren't elites, so if I would have had elites that got on me, that could have been a brutal. Now that could be some piloting error as well. There should be some turn to approach and stuff like that, but I'll have to actually experiment around. But that's scary. So if I warp in at 83, another thing that I didn't do when I started that battle was make sure I knew where my station was, so I could be turning away from the combat instead of going towards it whenever I warp out. But I wasn't too worried about getting warp jammed in there. It could happen, don't get me wrong, but I figured I would just pick a direction and go out to 250. Alright, so where was our mistake? How are we going to deal with these close ships? That is definitely something to be concerned about. So we've got two of them here, and I know that they're going to be just fine to handle from range. We just approach regularly, and everything should be good. But that still is very scary to know that you can get put in that situation. And the micro warp drive didn't do what I needed it to do. I mean, it did what I needed it to do. That part was no problem. It just, they were still too fast comparatively. Alright. Okay. How do we rectify that? That's the question, though. Obviously, we're going to have to make sure that we're out further than 80 km on the spawns that we know small ships are coming in on. If there isn't going to be small ships, we know we're alright, but whenever it does come to that, we really have to know the mission very well. So taking this thing blind into anything is going to be no good. I wonder if I can get a large micro warp drive in here, if I can get away. That would be interesting to try. I don't know if I'm ever going to have the power grid to fit that, but... yeah, let's take you out of the combat. And let's approach you directly. And here, let's get some strong shots in. So that should actually be the very first problem that I try to resolve. It's either going to be resolved in one of two ways, I believe, and that is going to be changing the fit completely. And what I mean by changing the fit completely is we're going to have to figure out how to get more speed out of this thing in order to keep up with them. Or maybe not use the two target painters and go back to using a higher level warp scram and another web or something to actually deal with those. Or trying to squeeze that large micro warp drive in here. Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So where this ship actually does excel at the T9 missions, the T9 missions doesn't have a lot of smaller ships. Only a couple of frigates spawn. So this may again be one of those things where this ship is going to be great for taking out versus the T9s, T10s, things like that. But not so good at the lower tier missions that are going to spawn in with more of the frigates and things that may be able to approach you at those god-awful speeds. Very interesting. That was a great bit of research there. Huh. Still trying to think in my mind on what I'm going to do about that. Honestly, I don't think these target painters are doing too terribly much for me. So I might be able to try out and see. So if anybody had any questions on where the ships start getting under your guns for the large weaponry, it does look like in between the 20 and 16 km range. I wasn't able to hit at all in any way, shape, or form. Even punching it away from them. So that was a bit disheartening. Alright. So I didn't really go over the fit at the beginning because it's the same fit that I was pretty much using last time, and I was changing around the gear. But just to show anybody who is interested, my rigs, I do have a laser collision accelerator 3, a laser burst aerator 3, and a second laser burst aerator 3. And I'm using two semiconductor memory cell 1s, which those do need an upgrade, and I am using one ancillary power grid router 2. Other than that, I had the two Republic Fleet target painters, one interruptive stasis webifier, which all need upgrades, especially the stasis webifier. I do believe I'm going to need to break down and buy the 80 million webifier there so I can just get that a couple extra km range. Try to think, what skill does increase the km range of your webifiers. Oh. I think it's under electronics. Is it electronic warfare? Accuracy fall off. Is it advanced? No, it doesn't look that way. Huh. This will for our capacitor. Capacitor, new optimal range. I don't see it. I don't know if there is a way to increase your stasis webifier's optimal range. So that's a pity. Mid slots. So a Predator is going to cost me, ooh, they're going up 110 million. And this one has 14.8 optimal range. And 14.8 is still going to put them under my guns. I'm really trying to think with these long range or even middle range fits what we can do to stop that. Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about that for a while because I really think this can work, but if ships do get on top of you, and if they lock you down and warp scram you, you have to get to the break point. And that would be the only way that you have of escaping. So you could blow up all the other ships to eliminate the damage, really, and you could out-heal one frigate that's warp scramming you, so I'm not worried about that. You're going to be able to get away in a normal mission. Elite missions, though, that wouldn't work. And when I do the elite missions, like doing the storyline missions and everything like that, I was actually thinking about keeping group armor reppers in there. And the group armor reppers would be kind of like an oh crap button. How much does this armor repper rep for? 1,000. That's not bad. I think my medium armor repper on my tanky ships does like 700 for a C-type. I don't think I'd be able to put a C-type in here. 810 megawatts. Huh. Yeah, I wasn't going to the right place. So let's jump back to base. And let's start. Let's go back to the market. Low slots.
Warp drive active.
Armor repairers. I think it's going to be like 400 million. 179 million. Large armor repper uses 1,371 power grid. No, that's the repair. The power grid's 1,004. That's a huge difference. $1,004 comparatively to 810.
Warp drive active.
It's almost 200 more power grid. So yeah, that could fit. It would require engineering rigs. So this one is giving 10%. Auxiliary power grid router 3. Do these stack? They do completely. So I would have to replace, I believe, another rig with one of those. If I replaced a secondary rig with one of those and get the skills up that I need, what else are we looking at? I do believe it would be armor? That doesn't affect the power grid. Bingo. I would need to get into the expert armor repair power grid as well. And if I could do that, I could probably fit that on there nicely. It's a total of 5. When do you start getting that? Level 4 you get 2%. 5 you get 3 more. Oof, that's going to be a long skill to train. And I got to get through all of the advanced. Might be worth it though. So that would be interesting. Very interesting indeed. Alright, so the ship itself works out great. The only problem that we have is, and it is a major issue, is the tracking speed, even with my skills, is 2.78 on these. So if anything does get under your guns, and the ship is drastically slow. So one option that we have is to try to run this with way more stuff to stop them up. This is 57. If I do get 2 Predator stasis webifiers, they're both 61%. So it's going to be 61 reduction and 61% of that. Again, we can slow it down to almost nothing, but as you saw, even when we webified the other one with a 1, and as soon as we got out of the webifier range, we couldn't hit. So we basically need to stop the ship. Oof. 2 might do it though. Maybe 3. That's going to take some more experimentation and trying to figure out. If you guys are experienced in the large, long-range weapons, fighting close range, and you have any thoughts on that, I know the turning to approach may work as well. I have to experiment around that, but not when they're approaching you, but once they actually get to you. If a ship does get to you and locks in that orbit, is there a way out of that? What can you do to survive that? I would like to know. Please leave me a comment in the comments below if you do know or have any ideas about that. Or how I have any ideas on how we should approach the ship. Or even if you have any other large equipment or anything that would affect the power grid, so we can try to put whatever we can in here to make this ship even better than it already is. Well, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.